Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy, Kevin Forte. Guys, today we're taking a look at some big news out of Florida. The Florida Panthers have re-signed their captain, Finnish centerman Alexander Barkov, to a nice contract. So we'll be taking a look at the contract, what it means for the Florida Panthers moving forward, as well as the contract details. We'll be going over all of that in today's video. So, Alexander Barkov, the 2013 second overall pick in that draft. The Florida Panthers have had a lot of success since they've drafted Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov, two cornerstone pieces of this franchise. Obviously, you have a guy like Aaron Ekblad, who was the first overall pick as well. Guys, trivia time. Who was the first overall pick in the 2013 NHL draft? I'll give you a hint. They played in the West Coast, and it was another center. So let me know in the description down below who that player is. So there we go. So there's that. With that said, guys, the Florida Panthers have had Alexander Barkov now for 9 years in the NHL. So he signed a 3-year deal starting out, and he signed a 6-year contract extension with the Florida Panthers. And now he's going to be getting paid the big bucks. So right now he's coming off the end of a 6-year contract that was paying him $5.9 million. That contract will expire not this season, but next summer. And the Florida Panthers have locked him up to a long-term contract, an 8-year, $80 million contract. That's going to pay Barkov $10 million per season. Sasha Barkov has also picked up some awards on his road to the NHL and throughout his NHL career, his 9 seasons in Florida. Back in 2019, he won the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, or the Ladybug Trophy, for the nicest player in the league. Congratulations. Doesn't really get you much, but congrats. But really, all kidding aside, the more important trophy he won was this trophy this year. He won the Frank J. Selke, the Selke Trophy, for the best center in the NHL. You look at some of the guys that were in that race over the past couple of years, and Barkov has always been in that conversation, either as a finalist or in the conversation to be a finalist. And he's one of those players where he's just so dynamic in both ends of the ice. He can score goals, but he's also a really good back checker, really good defensive guy that can shut the game down for the opponent. And you look at the guys that have won this trophy over the past, really the last decade. Andrei Kopitar, Patrice Bergeron, just to name a few. And those really, when you're talking about Barkov, he is in that category of player. He is just that talented. And his ability to read the game is just incredible. His ability to just be ahead of what everybody else is thinking on the ice. That's what made Wayne Gretzky so good, is not necessarily, looking at where the puck is, but knowing where the puck was going to be next. And Barkov has that same ability. And in his time in Florida, he has been a absolute, just astonishing player to watch. You look at his last full 82-game schedule, 82-game scheduled season back in the 2018-2019 season. In 82 games, so he played a full season, picked up 96 points. That was a career best for Barkov. And the past 2 seasons since, in 2020, which was a weird year, he picked up 62 points in 66 games. So he was below a point per game. But then this season, he put up 58 points in only 50 games played. Now, the good thing is he's a pretty reliable player. He missed 6 games this year. I believe he missed 3 games back in 2017-2018. So he has been he's been a guy that's consistently in the lineup. And what he brings to the Florida Panthers is just so crucial to this team's success. And you look at where he sits on this team, he is definitely one of the better Florida Panthers in Panthers history. So now we're going to break down the actual signing. So guys, like I mentioned, this signing won't take place till next summer. It's an extension that will go into next season. So this season he will keep his cap hit of $5.9 million per. That will finish out. And next summer, and this is kind of a way to keep the distractions from throughout the season, will Barkov re-sign? Is Barkov going to the Rangers? Is Barkov going here? Is Barkov going there. This eliminates all that. He's re-signed. He's there for the next 9 years. Unless there's a trade or a buyout, Barkov will be there for the next 9 seasons. So, starting next year, Barkov signed an 8-year, $80 million contract, $10 million per season, and the actual per season breakdown, I want to give some credit here to Pierre LeBrun, who gave us this information. It's a lot of signing bonus. It's actually 90% signing bonus and only 10% base salary. So over those 8 years, the first 3 seasons of that signing from 2022 all the way till 2025, it is a $1 million base salary throughout the entire contract and an $11 million signing bonus every July 1st. That's basically what that is. Every July 1st, he will get $11 million. I know, sounds pretty good. I'd probably sign up for that myself. So you got that for the first 3 years. The following season in 2025-2026, again, a $1 million base salary, but also $10.6 million on July 1st. Again, pretty solid there for Barkov. The following season, $9 million signing bonus, a $7 million signing bonus the season after that. And the final 2 years of his contract, it's going to be a $6.2 million signing bonus. The other thing to keep in mind, a part of this, another piece that you don't want to forget is the deal includes a full no movement clause for the first 6 years of this deal. And, of course, the last 2 years of this deal, it's a $6.2 million signing bonus, which is the least of those 8 years. Plus, he's also going to have a 16-team no-trade list for the final 2 seasons of that contract as well. So, at that $6.2 million signing bonus, he will not only be cheaper to move, but he's also going to be exempt from half the league. Instead of complete no move control for Barkov, it will become a situation where basically they give him a list of the 16 teams he doesn't want to go to, and the Florida Panthers can move him from there. Now, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the Florida Panthers keep him the 8 years. They don't have to worry about kind of a quote-unquote cap dump when he's 34, 35. But again, with an 8-year contract, you don't necessarily know how things will play out in 8 years from now. Well, really, 9 years from now, because that is as long as this contract is going to be. So like I said, we're going to be talking about this contract ending in 2030. Just the thought of that right now just sounds like mind-blowing. But that is the reality of this deal. I will be 30 years old. That's very concerning. So, hey, good for Alexander Barkov. He gets the bag. Like I said, $10 million per season on this deal for Barkov. 8-year deal. Really solid deal for both sides. I mean, like I said, this is a guy that consistently puts up points, over 500 games in the big leagues, 465 points in his NHL career, 9 seasons with the Florida Panthers, and he is the quintessential player in the NHL right now, alongside, again, there's obviously those top tier guys. There's the McDavids, there's the McKinnons, and then you start talking about guys like Barkov right there. They are right in that category. And if Barkov were with a team like the Los Angeles Kings, maybe a bigger name team, there would be even more talk about Sasha Barkov and what he has brought to the Florida Panthers. Now, another key thing to remember in this deal as well, he's 26 years old right now. So his contract starts next summer, September 2nd, which actually an interesting day. So he's 26 years old. He'll be 27 at the signing, well, the quote-unquote signing and the beginning of this contract, which means you add 8 years, he will be 34 years old. There we go. We could do math. 34, 35 years old, depending on the exact date that it ends. So, Alexander Barkov, congrats. Great signing. Again, this is a guy for $10 million. You take that any day. The Florida Panthers have been a team that doesn't usually give out these big contracts. We've seen them, kind of get bit in the ass by moving on from guys like Jonathan Marchessault. Look at the success he's had with the Vegas Golden Knights. Same thing from Riley Smith. They didn't want to give him the money. He ends up doing pretty well in Vegas as well. They were really the team that got killed by Vegas. That was because they didn't want to spend the money to keep guys around. And we've seen that narrative kind of change in Florida. They gave a nice extension to Anthony Duclair this summer. They've also signed some other guys here along the way, guys like Nola Chari, Anton Strawman. Obviously, some less successful ones like Sergei Bobrovsky, you take your chance with that. But like I said, I really like what the Florida Panthers are doing. They've really given themselves an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup here. You add Sam Reinhart this summer. Now you don't have the distraction now of a guy like Barkov not being signed. Is he going to go to the Rangers, LA, whatever team? That stuff is put to bed. He will be a member of the Florida Panthers. And the other thing you have to remember here, and again, this is maybe thinking more outside the box, but how is this going to affect contracts around the league? We saw that big contract this summer from guys like Merrill Haskinen and Cale Makar, kind of setting the market for what we saw for the rest of the summer from guys like Seth Jones, Darnell Nurse. We could see something similar to that here with the Barkov deal. The most similar comparable right now is Mika Zibanejad with the Rangers. He's on the final year of a contract with the Rangers. Is he going to ask for $10 million from the New York Rangers or any other team in the market? Because, again, you look at the numbers, they are fairly close in comparison. Now, the problem is, are the Rangers going to have that money to re-up Mika Zibanejad? That's another story. But, again, the no-state tax also helps the Florida Panthers here at $10 million. So they're giving up $10 million with no state tax. You try and get that up in New York, Toronto, Edmonton, you're going to have to give him closer to like 11.5, if not 12, to get that same price tag. That's part of the reason the Maple Leafs got Tavares in at 11.5, is because he was probably going to get $9 million out of it when it was all said and done because of the amount of taxes he was paying in Toronto. Alexander Barkov doesn't have to worry about that state tax in the state of Florida. So a little bit of an advantage there. Probably something that Mika Zibanejad's agent will use as well as, hey, listen, that's not our scenario. We have state taxes here in New York that are extremely high and they absolutely suck. So that is something that will also account for that as well. But other than that, I think there's pretty much set in stone. We're seeing a lot of the younger guys take bridge deals like Matt Barzal. We just saw it here last week or two with Elias Pettersson. So that's kind of what you're looking at with that situation, as well as guys like Braden Point who have signed those deals. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Florida Panthers this season? Do you think they are a legit contender? Again, you look at the amount of investments they've put into this team, re-signing Sam Reinhart. They have to re-up Jonathan Huberdeau in a couple years. That's going to be tough. They're running out of cap space, but now you've invested in Barkov, Reinhart, Ekblad, Sergei Bobrovsky. This is a team that's starting to get their core together. Let's see if they could finally win a championship with that group. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL and more videos just like this one, guys, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. Guys, make sure to also check out our Streamlabs shop in the description down below. I'm setting up the whole hat thing, but we got backpacks, t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs. We got all that stuff there, so make sure to check that out on your way out today. It helps support the channel and maybe, promote the channel a little bit as well. So I definitely appreciate that. And that's it for today's video, guys. Make sure to stay tuned for our power rankings. Actually, it's probably out already. You guys will see that earlier this morning. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure to check that out. Guys, I'll see you later and enjoy your great weekend.